Hey, Weekly Walk viewers, surprise, I'm still in Florida. As it turns out, I'm not quite ready to give up the Sunshine State, but someday I will be. We just aren't quite sure when that day will be yet. So this week I had a chance to sit down with Francesca Krihely, who is Senior Director of Developer Experience at Snyk, everybody's favorite security PLG company. And she talks all about the pincher strategy, which doesn't just relate to lobster claws, and the mistake that she sees a lot of founders who are developers make as they're starting their companies, and most importantly, who her two dream dinner guests would be, and they are pretty awesome. So check out the video and we'll see y'all soon. Bye guys. Hey, Weekly Walk viewers. I am here with Francesca Krihely, Senior Director of Developer Experience at Snyk. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Nice to be here.
No, I know. Thank you for being here. I can't wait till we can do this. I feel like I start every weekly walk with, I can't wait till we can do this in person. But I feel like we're on our way and you're going to tour me around New York City when
Absolutely.
the time comes. The director's edition. Me too. But where are we right now?
So we're in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, in front of the Teton Mountains, which are, like, to me, the most beautiful mountain range in the US. But Jackson Hole is my favorite place in the world. It is truly like a spiritual, like incredible, magical place with a lot of beautiful nature and a lot of really interesting Western history. So that's where I want to be most of the time.
And skiing. You're a big skier.
Yeah, well, yeah. In this winter, I love going there to ski, but I've been there in the summer once, actually for a work trip. I got to go there, and it's even better. It's possibly more beautiful in the summer.
Interesting. I have to say the out west is definitely, as much as they're beautiful with snow on them, there's so much to do when they are not covered in snow as well.
100%.
So I'm there with you. All right. So you're at Snyk, which I feel like is everybody's favorite PLG security focused company, and at OpenView, and we are huge fans of Snyk as well. So you had recently done an interview with Blake on our podcast and talked about pincher strategies, and kind of what is that when someone says a pincher strategy, and why has that worked so well for Snyk as you folks have grown?
That's such a good question, and it's I think it's a huge value out of PLG. So pincher is also referred to as a top-down, bottoms-up model, but you're essentially gathering a groundswell of interest amongst end users with your free product, and then at the same time going after the accounts that you're seeing a lot of momentum, and you're going top-down in those and trying to figure out the org structure so that you can go after the executives or more senior leadership at the firm to say, hey, did you know that you have 20 developers signed up for this service? It's something that Atlassian has done really, really well in terms of expanding the incredible like traction they have with their self-serve products, and then going across an enterprise and selling, cross-selling, and connecting a ton of different teams with the value of Atlassian. So at Snyk, we're actually on that same trajectory. I think if we execute well, I think we'll have that same trajectory, because the product is really horizontal, just like it is at Jira, at Atlassian with Jira and OpsGenie, etc. So you have a lot of different teams that can use the products in the platform and get value out of it in different ways. So I think it's a really cool strategy for Snyk in that way. And then also because the users of the product, the end users, are the developers, but the people who want to bring this tool in and have like the governance structure of it are the security team and the IT team to some extent. So connecting the dots there is really effective when you can leverage a pincher strategy like that.
Little pincher, like little lobster claws.
Exactly.
And it's like, it seems like such a simple model when you describe it, but it's taken people, and especially we look to Snyk as one of the first companies in the security space to do it. And I think, more and more companies are taking that on. Obviously, we talk about it all the time at OpenView, but hey, maybe in, 15 years, we're all just going to be talking, Atlassian will be no more. We're all talking about Snyk and how they've done it well. We love all the folks at Atlassian too, but who
Yeah.
knows? Well,
I mean,
everyone will be referencing
they
you guys.
definitely paved, I mean, they did a lot of the stuff before it was trendy. And
They
I
did.
think that a lot of people were questioning their approach.
Yeah.
But I mean, their products are amazing. Like,
They
I'm a
are.
huge fan of Jira. I hate using any other productivity tool. So I mean, they you know, they build the mind share. And
They do.
I think that we all in this space in general, and like enterprise software, but also those who follow the growth mindset, you know,
Yeah.
we owe a lot of a huge debt of gratitude to all the work that they did and the risks that they took, because it
Yeah.
helped establish this huge discipline.
Yeah. So big shout out to Atlassian too. Little PSA for
100%.
them. So,
Yeah.
all right, you do a lot of advising around developer marketing, which is super hot these days. And you know, you do that for OpenView as well, and some companies we're working with. But in all of that and in your career, what's the biggest mistake you've seen startups making as it relates to developer marketing, open source, et cetera?
Oh, that's such a good question. Yeah,
I'm glad
I mean,
you're liking my questions. This is
yeah.
good. I feel this is giving me confidence.
Yeah. And I love talking to founders. I love talking to everyone that you all have connected me with in the OpenView community. The one thing I would say is that a lot of the founders of dev tool companies are developers themselves. So
Yeah.
they are their audience. And a lot of the times these founders will come to me and say, well, Francesca, what should we do? And I think it's so funny because I usually get my best ideas from people like them and
Yeah.
their behaviors and their approaches to solving problems. So I think the biggest mistake is not trusting your own instincts as a founder, especially if you're a technical founder. A lot of the times, especially now, we're seeing, and maybe this trend is not going to continue for much longer, but like I hope it does. But we're seeing a lot of these teams emerge from these really big companies saying like, I built this service at Facebook and now I'm going to launch this company. Or we had this, you know, we found this open source tool that was built by Spotify, for example, Backstage. There's like a few companies monetizing that. And so they go to market with that. The people that are doing that have very deep understanding of the problem space. And so they are the best people to assess what their audience needs and wants. So not trusting yourself that you kind of understand that is probably the first mistake. And then everything that cascades from there is a result of that. So I always tell founders, like, I can tell you what works and the ways to think about the problems so that it can give you more confidence, but ultimately, you know this audience really well. So you understand how developers are going to want to adopt software, what they're going to want to read, what they're going to want to access. And if you have the right mindset of like growth, then you understand how to read the data based on what you're building and understand what's working and what's not. So yeah, I would say for all founders, especially technical founders that are marketing to people like themselves, you know what you're talking about. Not to say that you don't need someone like me, but don't rely on someone like me as much as you think you need to, because you know the audience really, really well.
Yeah, look in the mirror. What would you want? Make it happen.
100%. Yeah,
awesome.
100%.
And my last question for you, which hopefully you also think is great, but who is your dream dinner guest? If you could have one person alive or, you know, from the past, who would that be and why?
You know, Casey, this is going to be one of those questions where I'm going to answer it, and then every time I think about it, I'm going to wish I had a different answer.
Okay, well, when we do the in-person weekly walk, you can have a different answer.
But I feel like the person I would have, I feel like there's a person that I really want to sit with because I feel like she's amazing. And that's Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who I'm like huge fan. I love her. So I feel like I would love sitting with her, but I feel like the person I would have the most fun with would be Joni Mitchell.
Yeah. No, that does sound like a fun, I mean, that sounds like a good dinner, the start of a good dinner party, regardless, even with both of those. So I think those are, I'll give you two dinner guests. You could have two. Those can be good too.
Well, I feel like I need to have dinner with them separately. Like I'm going to have.
Okay. Separate
And you know
dinners.
what? I'll take you, when we go to New York, I'll take you to the restaurant I'm going to take RBG to, and then the place that Joni Mitchell and I are going to hang out for the rest of the night.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I love this. I also love that you have it planned, but awesome. Thank you, Francesca, for being here, and Weekly Walk viewers. We'll see y'all soon. Bye, guys.